Hello and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make some pies this week, and so I wanted to show you how to make a graham cracker pie crust and then also a cookie crumb pie crust made out of Oreo cookies. Or if you can find just the plain chocolate wafer cookies, that might work better than the Oreos do. First of all, I am making the graham cracker pie crust, and I have a stick of butter here, which is 8 tablespoons or a half a cup, and I'm putting it in my pie plate, and then I'll put that into the microwave for 30 seconds to melt. I also took a whole sleeve of graham crackers. Biscoff cookies would probably work really well with this as well. And I put them into a reclosable Ziploc bag or plastic bag. And I'm just taking my rolling pin and rolling these out until I get fine crumbs. You can also buy graham cracker crumbs already crushed. And if you have a food processor, this process would probably be a whole lot quicker. But if you don't, the rolling pin works out fine. I keep on moving it upside down and then right side up again to get all of the crumbs evenly crushed. You should have 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs at this point, and I'm pouring them into the melted butter in the pie plate. I probably could have done a few more crumbs since this is a large pie plate. I measured it, and it measures 10 inches in diameter. I'm adding a 1/4 cup of granulated white sugar to this. And now just taking a spoon and mixing it all together really well. And then I will pat it out as a pie crust, going up the sides and then patting it evenly in the middle. I had a little bit of trouble getting this out of the pie plate when I was cutting the finished pie, and I'm wondering if I mixed this mixture all in a bowl and then sprayed my pie plate with nonstick cooking spray and then formed the pie crust in the pie plate, if maybe that would have made a difference. So keep that in mind. I'm just forming the crust with the back of a spoon. Some people like to use a measuring cup because that works good on the sides and the bottom at the same time. So you may want to try that, or just use a spoon. That works well also. So this is done now and looking beautiful, and I am going to bake it for 10 minutes in a 350 degree Fahrenheit oven, but I am going to get the Oreo cookie crust done first and bake them both at the same time. For the Oreo cookie crust, you're going to need to use regular Oreos or a brand that is similar to regular Oreos. I read on the recipe that if you use the double stuff Oreos, that will make the crust too greasy because of the extra filling. And here is where having a food processor or a high-speed blender will really come in handy to crush your Oreo cookies. I opted to do the bag and the rolling pin again, and it was a lot more messy than the graham crackers are because of the filling in the cookies, but it worked out. But my crumbs were quite large just because I got tired of rolling them out. So if you have a food processor, definitely use that for this. I counted out 22 cookies into the bag, and so now I'm just going to do the same things that I did for the other crust, only I'm using 5 tablespoons of butter for this. I'm guessing because of the cream in the sandwich cream cookies. So I measured off 5 tablespoons, and then I am going to put that into the microwave like I did the graham cracker recipe for about 30 seconds until this butter melts. This time I'm using an 8 or 9 inch pie plate. And then just crushing the cookies with my rolling pin. Like I said before, the crumbs were quite large. I also think that a chocolate wafer cookie might work better for this. I looked for a package. I know that they used to sell them at the grocery store that I frequent, but I couldn't find them. Because there's cream in the cookie, we didn't need to add sugar to the crust. So it's just the Oreo cookie crumbs and the butter, and then I shaped it into a crust. And now I'm putting both crusts into the oven for 10 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You'll do better than I did and not forget to set the timer on this. They got a little toasty. They were just fine, but I had forgotten to put 10 minutes on the stove timer. And so this is how they look as they came out of the oven. You need to let them cool completely before you put any kind of cream or whipped cream or pudding filling inside of them so that it will not melt your filling. And I don't know why you couldn't wrap these up really good in plastic wrap and freeze them in the freezer for another date. Please join me in a couple of days when I release the video of the pies that I made in these crusts, and I will provide the link for that when it's up on YouTube in the description box of this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd appreciate it greatly. Goodbye.